Solve the inequality n plus 7 is less than 5n minus 8. To solve an inequality, we can just treat it like an equal sign and rearrange it so that n is the subject. However, we can never flip the side of this sign. We will leave it as it is. So, the first step is to combine all the n's so that they are on the same side. I'm going to move the n on the left-hand side to the right-hand side. So to remove the n on the left-hand side, there's only one n there. So it's plus 1n, so we can do minus n on this side, and you also have to do minus n on this side. On the left-hand side, n minus n is equal to 0, so we are left with 7 is less than 5n minus n is equal to 4n, and we have a minus 8. So we want to move the 8 to the left hand side, and we must do the opposite of what the 8 is doing. So we have minus 8, therefore we need to plus 8 to this side and plus 8 to this side. On the left hand side, we have 7 plus 8, which is 15, is less than 4n, and minus 8 plus 8 is just equal to 0. So we have 15 less than 4n, and we have 4 multiplied by n, so to remove the 4 we need to divide by 4 to both sides. When we divide by 4 here, the 4 cancels out, leaving n, so n here and 15 over 4 on the other side. So this is basically 15 over 4 is less than n, or we can rewrite it as n is greater than 15 over 4. So the inequality we are looking for is n is bigger than 15 over 4. Sometimes when we solve inequalities, we can get lost in the process and forget which side the sign is on or which side the inequality opens to. So once you get the answer as n equals 15 over 4, you can always recheck which one it is. After you get n equals 15 over 4, your answer is either n less than 15 over 4 or n bigger than 15 over 4. We can always check our answer by substituting in random values that satisfy the inequality. If this inequality is the correct answer, this means that our value of n is less than 15 over 4. This means that all numbers less than 15 over 4 will satisfy the original inequality right here. So 15 over 4 is somewhere between 3 and 4, right here. If n is really less than 15 over 4, this means that any number less than 15 over 4 on this number line, and so on, up until negative infinity or negative 100 and so on. So anything below 15 over 4 should work. So that means that if we substitute a value in that's less than 15 over 4 into the original inequality, this should work. I'm going to try 1. If I substitute 1 into the original inequality, I have 1 plus 7 is less than 5 times 1 minus 8. 1 plus 7 is 8. 5 minus 8 is minus 3. And this is incorrect because we all know that 8 is bigger than minus 3. Therefore, this means that this side of the inequality doesn't work. By now, we can already assume that this side of the inequality is the correct one. But we can also double check by substituting random values in the range. So this inequality states that n has to be bigger than 15 over 4. This means all the numbers that are here or bigger than 15 over 4 satisfy the original inequality. So if I take a random value in that range, let's say 5 for example, and I substitute it in, so that's 5 plus 7 should be less than 5 multiplied by 5 minus 8. 5 plus 7 is 12. Should be less than 5 times 5 is 25 minus 8 is 17. And this is correct because 17 is indeed bigger than 12. Therefore, this inequality is the correct one. And therefore, we have checked our answer.